Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We are here with another war video, and today we are going to go against what I said in the last video. Because in the last video, I said this. So really, I just piss away an invulnerability boost. Because you can't die in this fight, let's be clear. Spidey can't die. Spidey is immortal against the boss, especially when you're running suicides and healing the entire fight. Now, in hindsight, I was maybe jinxing myself a little. I was maybe being a little bit too confident. And sometimes stuff comes around and this war happens. So I have 9 fights again today. I have the team of Corvus, Proxima, and Spidey2099. I believe 3 Spidey fights? 3 Spidey fights, 6 Corvus fights. And the Corvus fights get a little sketchy. 2 of them specifically. So we are going to go on Path 1, Section 2 over to Path 2... Path 1, Section 1 over to Path 2, Section 2. And my clips wouldn't edit. I tried for so long, so bear with me as we wait for them to load. It's a day and a half. It's been a day and a half since this war, and the clips are being stupid. Basically, I saw some fights that Corvus could take well, so I kind of mapped out the best spot for 4 charges, and I just discussed it with my BG leader. He's like, hey, great spot for 4 charge Corvus if you want to do that for this mini boss. I can do it. And I should have probably used a 150 cosmic boost at least. I'm not actually going to use any, and it is going to make one of my fights a little bit annoying. So this is on the first node. This is Clairvoyant on the first node of Path 1, Section 1. This is no longer unblockable. This node used to be unblockable. Turns out this person actually placed with suicides. We actually knew that, but no one told me. That at this point we'd already fought 2 of the guy's defenders, and just no one had told me that the guy was running suicides. But yeah, you'll see this guy's just absolutely melting. 1 SP2 from Spidey almost completely killed. So she is getting actually quite a lot of regen. But we did kill her pretty fast, so that's pretty nice. Very fast fight. And now we go to the complete opposite of that, a insanely long Corvus fight that no one wanted. I had a Spidey2099 fight after this, and I thought I shouldn't have suicides on yet because I probably don't want them on for that fight. I should have just gone with suicides because this is just stupid. This is a rank 3 6-star Namor who's both a mutant and an Avenger, which is 2 Corvus charges. However, the node here is Masochism. And they changed Masochism, and now the regeneration is insane. It is so much higher than it used to be. And you'll notice I'm doing pretty good damage right now. He's at like a 3rd health 15 seconds in. Just wait. Just wait until I run out of charges. Not having cosmic boosts, first off, just fucked me. So at this point I realized that the only way that I'm inflicting debuffs on him in this fight is Masochism. So if I want to win this fight, I have to not trigger it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to throw this L2. I had to time that with Imperious Rex. I did it perfectly. And at this point, I'm going to run out of my charges, and he is at 47%. Not exactly what you want. So what I'm going to do is I am going to play this completely stun immune. I'm not going to parry. Luckily for me, he is an Imperious Rex, which actually makes it extremely convenient for me not have to parry. Plus, he's throwing a lot of special attacks. I decided to throw this L2 just because I knew I wouldn't get my charges back before I get to an L3. So for my next L2, I'm going to wait for my charges. But I'm actually doing okay damage. I mean, he's almost dead in a minute and a half, and this is a Corvus fight with 0 charges. So it's not that bad, all things considered. And here I notice I'm about to get my charges back, so I'm just going to wait for my charges. Because I know this L2 will kill. I was trying to get him to throw this L2. He's not going to, so at this point I'm just like, okay, I'm going to block and just, you know. There we go. Another L2. So a little bit under 2 minutes, but we got 2 Corvus charges. So now we won't have any more fights like that. And let's go into our next fight, which is going to be a rank 3 6-star Scarlet Sigil Witch on Power Snack. And this is just a placement I do not understand. Why? Magic, Warlock, Torch, Archangel, Spidey, Mr. Negative, Red Guardian, Thing. Well, I don't understand the logic here. It's a fight that almost anyone can take. Probably Herc could do this fight. It would be annoying, but I bet you could. But yeah, for some reason she's here. So basically the only thing I have to worry about in this fight is if she goes unblockable, because she can gain an unblockable buff. That's literally the only thing that can go wrong. Just want to bait L1s. I am able to fully evade L2s because I was able to practice it in the side quest last month. But the matchup of Spidey2099 versus this Sigil Witch is actually really nice, because every time she tries to put a buff on me so that she can steal it for Mystic Dispersion, it actually resets my timer for my dexing. So my debuffs get paused. So here I thought I would just hit into the block a bunch. And then I am able to send her over and do about 15% with that burst. That was actually really, really nice. Maybe a little under 15%. And there she does get the unblockable. But because she put the buff on me, I did not have to dex in that moment. So it's just such a convenient matchup for me. So here I don't really care if she's not going to throw the L1. Oh, she does actually. And here I'm just going to parry through an L2, and this is an overkill L2. She is well dead. Yes. So there we go. A minute and a half. Pretty nice fight. Now we get into what was the scariest fight. My scariest Corvus fight, that is. So I did turn on suicides here. I'm not going to torture you. I had to buy a special 1 boost. I had to buy multiple special 1 boosts. And this is Nick Fury on Mixmaster. Now on paper, this is like the easiest Corvus fight in the world. But this Nick Fury is going to be such an idiot. He is such a moron in this fight and is unbelievably annoying. It is crazy how stupid he is. So basically, I just want to get him to evade, parry heavy, and then I'll have my evade counter with my Proxima Synergy and my 3rd charge. And then I just want to L2 him to death, and that's pretty much it. So there, it actually worked perfectly. I went medium, light, light, and then parried immediately after the evade. So I got my charge. Here, he throws an L1 like an idiot, but I'm going to dex out of it, do a few hits. Here I'm going to get to my L2. I'm going to throw my L2. And look at this bullshit. I go to click my L2. He throws in an L1 and goes unblockable. I'm down. I'm almost dead. So I throw an L2 right here. It's going to push him to an L1. Luckily, I'm able to get him not to throw it by blocking a bunch. And then I'm going to throw another L2. Look at this. He's unblockable. And the only reason he didn't throw an L1 there is because he was unblockable. Nick Fury has an AI trick where he won't throw the special 1 if he is unblockable, and the special 1 would give him more charges to push him over. He technically can, but he will almost never use it in that scenario. So the only reason he didn't throw that L1 is because of that. If he did, I would have just blocked it. I would have been fine. I had enough health. But he is just such an idiot sometimes. And speaking of such an idiot, this is EMP modification Apocalypse. And this idiot forgot that the combat power rate gets reduced for every buff you have. So right here, if I'd gotten a chance to throw another L2 or to do another combo, I would have been at an L2. But at this point, I'm at no power. And in addition to that, because I'm running Suicides, he applied the debuff on his special 2, which means that I got concussed. And now it is only a 30% concussion, but when you bring a 30% concussion into a defender on war, the chance becomes 100% because kabam. So of course, 3 out of 3 parries failed. And I got hit in the face, but we were able to finish the fight with only basic hits, so I'm pretty happy with that. These clips are just going to take a second to load. And now here I have the last 4 fights in the battle group. I have Path 2, I have 1 mini on the boss island, and then I have the final boss. So, yeah, I left Suicides on at this point. The plan was always to turn them on right after Sigil Witch, and that worked out fine. I did use quite a few potions. I believe those are the last potions I use. I think, no. I'm lying. I used one more. I used one more potion. So I was kind of thinking about what boost I want to use here. I think I'm going to go with an SP1 boost, and then an invulnerability, and then another special 1 boost. But yeah, I'm boosting up here. I don't really want to bore you. I boosted like the absolute max you can boost. Look at this. I used 200% science and 12% science. I didn't use cosmic power back boosts here because literally none of my fights I need a second L2. Like, it's pointless. None of my Corvus fights here I need a second L2. So right here, I didn't parry off the start because I didn't want the disorient. And then right here, he's going to be an idiot. He's going to throw the L1, which is going to, of course, make him unstoppable. So, because why not? Right there. So I'm in the corner, Dex that heavy, and then I just throw my L2. Even if I get hit by the heavy and I get crit, nowhere near killing me. So that's completely fine. And now we have this Dragon Man. Now this is a little bit weird of a matchup, Spidey versus Dragon Man, especially if you don't have anti-venom. But I'm just gonna roll this guy. This is a very fast fight and a very easy fight. So I parry heavied at the start, and then I just want to reset, or I want to pause my exhaustion. I was just removing his power gain, and I was lowering it a little bit when I'm able to put my L2 down, my L2 on, excuse me. Throw my L2 off, and there I actually blocked the full special 2. I just didn't really want to risk it, and I knew I already had to use a potion or 2. So there we go. Dragon Man's down in 2 special 2s, and now we have this Peni Parker. Now, the strategy that I had imagined is that I was never going to hit Peni Parker ever. Like, the entire fight, I was never going to hit her. I was only going to hit her block, and that's the strategy. I actually ended up taking a Peni Parker next war, and I do that. I pretty much only hit her block, but actually not really. I do hit her quite a bit, to be fair. But the main strategy is hitting into her block. Now, this is Hazard Shift, and while Corvus does reduce the ability accuracy of Hazard Shift against tech opponents because he has a tech charge, that was not the strategy I was going for. The strategy I was going for is that I just want to do all block damage, and in 20 seconds, I've done 25%, 30%, excuse me, of her health. So it's really a fast fight with Corvus, all things considered. And then there I parried by accident trying to dash back. But it only takes like 3 crits from me to remove her shield. So here I did a medium light. I didn't get any of the hazard shift debuffs on me. And then I just go back to hitting her on the block. There I tried to hit her on the block, and she dropped the block right as I was going in. Luckily I didn't take a combo to the face, although I think I take a few hits right here. Yep. Medium, light, medium. And then here I only do 1 hit because I'm scared of getting power burned. And I'm going to do a combo into the block. I'm just going to block, beta heavy, and throw an L2. Very easy fight. I could have just hit into the block the entire fight. Baited L1s, I would have been fine. And now we go into the fight that the title is about. This is a rank 4 Nimrod. And not only is it a rank 4 Nimrod, it's duped. And if you don't know, the Nimrod boss that I took in War 3 was not duped, which means the specials were never unblockable. So in this fight, I'm going to take a bunch of L1s to the face. Now, this is a 4.5 minute fight. I'm not going to show you the whole fight. I'm only going to show you the important parts, which is the beginning of the fight until I get to an L3. And then it is the end of the fight. And I didn't actually heal 100%. I healed to like 90% in this fight because I thought that suicides would heal me back to 100% and I was just throwing away a potion. That's not going to end up changing anything. I still would have died to the fight because of like regenerating back. If you kind of know what I mean, like you regenerate back to that amount. But here I get my L1, or sorry, my L3 off. He was throwing a heavy, so I just threw my L3. And at this point, I'm doing fine. I have got hit. Yeah, I have gotten hit, but it's not that bad. And at this point, I've almost lost my slow debuff. I've almost completely lost my slow debuff. It is barely hanging on there. Now, I make a very crucial mistake here. What I should have done is I should have hit into the block until I got a rupture and then thrown the L2. That's what I should have done. Because it would have killed him. It would have done enough damage to kill him. Instead, I'm going to get pushed to an L3. I'm going to take an L1 to the face, so I'm already in a bad position. I'm like, okay, let's get my slow debuff up, and we only need one more L2. We need one more L2, and this fight is over. A rank 4 Nimrod boss is done. How can I possibly mess this up? He's not throwing a special. I'm like, oh, let's push him to a special 2. And I'm fine. I dex it. It's unblockable. Okay, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm at 80%. He is at 9%. And now look at this. The worst thing that can happen, full L2 to the face and I die. And I resisted that damage 75%, which means that at 80%, that did 320% of my total health. Over 320%. So here I just clean up with Corvus. He dies in one combo. So I don't have to revive Spidey. But man, that's tragic. And it didn't end up affecting the war. We won and it was not close. Actually, GGIR ended up not clearing one of their bosses. They left a boss up. So I don't really know what happened there, but they ended at 149 attacker kills and they ended with 2 battle group clears. I assume they just ran out of time. It's really unfortunate because at that point we already had like a massive lead. I think the final score was 5-28 or 6-28 or something like that. So we want, like, we don't want to ruin their season, and we didn't do anything. It's just they didn't clear, which really sucks because it doesn't benefit us whatsoever, and it massively hurts them. That's a season ruining type of thing that can happen. But we don't really know what happened. We just have to assume that they ran out of time. But you know what? We won. Obviously, it's really sad. I was really feeling confident with Spidey2099, and the only thing that can kill me is the thing that did kill me. And if I could have just blocked that special 2, I would have. I'm pretty sure it was unblockable. If it wasn't, then I thought it was unblockable, so it doesn't make a difference as if it was or it wasn't because I thought it was. And if I could have blocked it, maybe I could have blocked it. But those words, Spidey is immortal, he cannot die against the boss node, it is impossible. Those words will haunt my dreams for a long time. But we won! We are 4-0 on the season. I pick up my first death of the season. My PSR is 30 out of 31, so 97%. And my Deathless streak is at 0. So, and it is at exactly 0 because it was my last fight of the war. Actually, it was maybe the last fight of the war. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But that's going to be all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.